Today's video is going to be all about saddles. Saddle pain, saddle soreness, alleviating saddle soreness. Yes, it is a bit of a minefield, so I want to kind of share some tips that I've learned, saddles that I like, and things that you can do to hopefully get more comfortable in the saddle. So I think it's really important to start off by saying that saddle health, saddle comfort is kind of made up of two main parts. The first is your shorts and your chamois, and the second is your actual saddle and the setup of that saddle. So first off, if you're having pain in the saddle, make sure it's not your shorts. Maybe they could be bunching up, they could be chafing, maybe it's the shorts. So what I would suggest is maybe ask a few friends if you can just borrow their shorts. Yeah, if they're good friends, they will lend you their shorts just to try on and just see if that's the issue. The next thing is actual saddle setup. So Philbert, who is like an absolutely amazing bike fitter, he worked with Team Sky, British Cycling. So he was saying to me that you can have the most perfect saddle, and if it's not set up in the right way, it's going to be painful. So make sure that your actual saddle is set up correctly. There are lots of things online that you can kind of go and have a look, and videos of how to set up your saddle. But in brief, the saddle tilt especially should be between 0 and -3. So I'll show you very briefly how I do it, but I've got an iPhone, there's like a measure function. I kind of tilt that on my saddle and make sure it's between 0 and 3. Any more than that either way is probably going to be uncomfortable. So yeah, that's those. And if after all that, the saddle is still the issue, right, then we get into the minefield of saddles. There are a lot of saddles out there. I remember when I was having saddle pain, it was a nightmare because it was just so frustrating. There are so many saddles. How the hell do you pick which one is right for you? So I think the main thing is just trial and error, and that is so frustrating. I wish I could say to you, this is the perfect saddle, this is what's going to work for you. However, that's not the case. So what I did, I looked online, I read reviews, but equally what works for one person, like for me, is not necessarily going to work for you. However, I looked at loads of different reviews, looked at different videos on different saddles, and I think Evans, I don't know whether they still do it, they had like a thing where you could buy one saddle from them, and then you could like if it wasn't comfortable, you could keep changing it. They would keep exchanging. I don't know whether they still do that. Let me know if you know if they do that. And equally, I think Bontrager, which is in like Trek shops, and this is what I did, they had like a money back guarantee. You could take a saddle, try it for 30 days. If you didn't like it, get a full refund, which is what I did. So there's that option there for you. Or ask friends. If you're in a club, ask other people what they recommend. Like try a few of them out. Sit on a few different saddles because you're just not going to know until you've ridden on them. So yes, it's frustrating, but that's the way that we'll have to find our perfect saddle. But I'm going to share the saddles that I've liked and that just work really well for me. So the first is this beast. This is the Bontrager Ajna. And this is the one that I've done all my Audaxes on, all my long rides, Land's End John O'Groats, no saddle issues whatsoever. So comfortable, I absolutely love it. This is the comp version. There is like a pro version, but I tried that, and I found that too hard, whereas this has got a tiny little bit of like sponginess in the back, not a lot. And I think the misconception is that the spongier and thicker the foam on a saddle, the comfier it is, and that is not the case. So don't fall into that trap. So I really like that. I like the cutout. That alleviates any pressure in the women's anatomy or men's. But this is a women's specific saddle. What else is there to say? Just really like that. Really comfortable, and I would rate it. I really do like that then. The other saddle that I rate is this. This is a Specialized Mimic. It's a lot lighter actually than that one. This is a fairly new saddle, and it was designed specifically for women, and the reason they did it is because the Specialized Power has got a cutout, but what women were finding was that their anatomy, shall we say, was kind of getting squished and pushed into the cutout, and obviously causing chafing, really painful. And I know some of you are just like, God, this is just so much detail, but we have to talk about this because people shouldn't be in discomfort like on a saddle. So anyway, Specialised did a load of research. I think they had like studied 200 pressure maps of like 23 different women and came up with this. And basically this little section here, I didn't realise this, I'd seen pictures of it and I was like, God, that looks a really good saddle. That is like really squishy. So it's intended to kind of mould to a woman's anatomy. And then equally the nose of it is also soft. So if you are in a more kind of aggressive position, that's also soft and it's not going to be painful. I've tried it, I like it, I rate it. I think the thing that people struggle with the Power though is that you are in one set position. Like with that you can kind of like move forward and backwards, but because this is shorter, it's meant to kind of keep you in one position. I think the only thing that I probably would do if I was going to use this like permanently is I would probably get the narrow one. This is the 168 and it's just a little bit too wide because I feel like that, the kind of the sharpness of that angle just kind of rubbed on my leg a little bit after like a full day's riding. But I am using this, I'm using it on my Grail bike. I'm going out today on it, which is going to be like a 4 hour or so ride. And so yeah, I rate it, I like it. And I think the more kind of women specific saddles that we get out there, the better, so that we've got more options, there's more to try. And yeah, it is just one of those frustrating things. I know I've already said this, but it's just trying things out and just seeing what works for you. And let us know if you are struggling with your saddle. Let us know kind of how you ride, the saddle that you're currently using and what the issues are, and we'll try and recommend some comfier saddles for you. So don't suffer in silence. Chat to us and we can hopefully find a solution for you. So that's it for this video. I'm going to go and I will see you next video.